Okay, listen. Here's what's up. I tried recording this earlier, and I don't know what the hell was going on, but I could just not fucking talk. I felt so anxious. I will insert some clips of literally what I was going through here because I don't know, it was like I was having like a fucking mental breakdown halfway through filming. Here you go. I had asked you guys on Instagram. So for today's video, I had asked you guys on Instagram. So for today's video, oh my god, it's so annoying. I can tell this is going to be a pretty long video with how much I have been rambling already because I haven't, whatever, shut the fuck up. Oh my god, why am I like this? I'm literally so fucking annoyed with myself right now. I don't fucking know why. Oh my
fucking god. Ooh, that feels good.
Calm down, Maya. So I did a little retail therapy. To be honest, I didn't spend like any money on myself except for I bought myself melatonin because I needed it and Olaplex because I need it for another thing. Well, my hair, obviously, but whatever. I drove around a lot. And I kind of feel better. I think maybe that's what I needed. I don't know. I just felt very stressed out, so I'm gonna try to film this again. Hopefully stay in focus. Hi, hello. It's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. So I had asked you guys on Instagram to send me some questions, specifically some personal questions, either in regards to me or you. And surprisingly, I actually got quite a few of them. I want to make a disclaimer in case you somehow missed the title or the thumbnail. We are going to be discussing either offensive or inappropriate or, I don't know, things that you may just not like. I try to be as respectful as I can when giving my opinions. However, I am a very opinionated, loud person when it comes to shit that I actually like believe in and stand my ground on. But also at the same time, I don't hold back. I don't bite my tongue. If you disagree with anything, I understand. We can have a respectful discussion in the chat. But if you're gonna come at me immature, that is perfectly fine because I can do the same thing. Now let's rub some shea butter on my lips because I'm getting crusty. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to do this is mostly because I kind of consider myself like an open book. I'm really not ashamed to discuss anything. I don't know, I just don't care. I'm one of those people where like, I like to be that person where you can come to me with like literally anything and I try my best to just like not be judgmental. Actually no, not that I try, I really just like, I don't care. Like it's not my life so I don't judge it, you know? Unless you do something like fucked up. But I'm just saying, for like friends and shit, like I'm always that one person that I feel like people can come to and that people do come to when they want to discuss, you know, like personal issues or things in their sex life or things with their relationships. Because I like to come at things with like a very neutral stance. So that's like partially the reason why I wanted to film this, because I did also say like if you wanted me to give any of my unsolicited advice to you, that I'd be willing to do that. Obviously, I'm not a healthcare or whatever care professional, so take everything I say with heed, take everything with a grain of salt. I am just another random bitch on the internet who likes to yap her mouth. So that being said, I want to make a few disclaimers before we get into this. The first one is that I got a lot of questions about mental health. I'm not ignoring you. I saw the questions. I saw you. That is something that I've been planning on making a video on. I actually did record it already and then I hated it, so I'm gonna re-record it. Apparently I've been having that issue lately, but I plan on making like an entire dedicated video to mental health and how to help it and all that fun stuff. So you can stick around for that if you would like. Just keep your eyes open for it. Like I said, I'm not ignoring you. But if it's any like condolence or comfort to you, I got at least like 10 to 15 questions about it, so including me and them, you're not alone. Is that the philosophical thing to say? The second thing is that I am going to be answering some inappropriate questions, aka sex. I'm answering the ones that pertain mostly to me, just because I don't want to put my partner in a weird position. They're not part of this. They're not here. So like I don't want to put our personal shit on blast, especially now that you guys know, well, if you follow me on Instagram, you guys know like who he is, what he looks like. So all these questions are pertaining specifically to me. So now that that's all out of the way, we can get into the questions finally. I lied really quick. When it comes to the questions, there are some that I kind of lumped together to make like one big question because I got a lot that were similar. So let's go. First question I got was, what's your sexuality? How did you come to terms with it? Well, for the normies, I just say that I'm bisexual. I like guys, girls, whatever, anybody and everybody. But for my fellow queers, I just say that I'm queer. It's easier that way for me because I hate having to explain to like people who aren't involved in the LGBTQ community what the fuck queer exactly means. But if you guys are a part of it, then you know. I like to identify specifically as queer because I identify as like non-conforming, which doesn't really affect my gender at all. It's just a personal thing that makes it easier to explain why I am the way that I am to people, aka I inhibit both masculine and feminine qualities, and I'm not ashamed of that. And because of that, I act different with different genders and sexes. So if I say queer, it's just easier for me because it just is, okay? It's hard to explain. I can't explain it. And then how did I come to terms with it? In all honesty, I really didn't have to. I really wasn't raised on like whatever sexuality being right and wrong. I was raised very neutral. I didn't have anything like pushed against me. Obviously, as I got older, I kind of realized like, oh, okay, like this isn't okay with some people. Like, you know, I obviously saw like the anti-gay agenda, but it never really bothered me because I wasn't brought up in a way where I was told specifically that it was bad. And then when I finally like came out to my friends, aka said like, hey, like I'm bi in like, what was that, 7th grade in middle school? They didn't care. So I always just had like a really neutral stance around me. And so because of that, I never had to like come to terms with anything. I always just accepted it. I've always known. It's never bothered me. Second is, what is your opinion on abortion, school, and what political party are you and why? I'm gonna skip the school one because we'll get into that later. Abortion, plain and simple, my uterus, my decisions. You don't get to police my body, especially if you are a male. The government does not get to police my body. I can do with it what I will. And I'm not going to go any more into that because really that's as simple as it should be. And then when it comes to my political party, I really don't like to say that I have one. I don't say that I'm like independent, democratic, liberal, republican, whatever. Because as much as I try to like pay attention to it and like stay up to date and be informed on these things, I'm not that informed to like make a certain position and stick with it and be able to back myself up on it. But I guess just know that I vote Democratic like 99.9% of the time, and I will never vote Republican, so take with that what you will. Next question was, do you like true crime? And then what's your opinion on people, oh, this is a hard word to say for me, fetishizing murderers. Yes, I like true crime. I've always liked it. I've always had an interest in it, especially with like the true crime community like blowing up on YouTube now. It's nice. I like to learn about murders in my pastime, I guess. And then my opinion on people fetishizing murderers, I don't fuck with that. However, I will say that there is a difference between being fascinated with the mind of a murderer, like the psychological side of it, and being obsessed with the murderer themselves and like romanticizing them. Like the weird girls who like worship Ted Bundy, or the girls now who have like fan accounts dedicated to like the Columbine murderers, killers, shooters. That's weird. That's crossing a line. That's disrespectful to the families. But if you're just interested in like the mindset behind it, you know, why they would do it, how exactly they did it, stuff like that I feel is okay. Because that's more of like an educational thing rather than a romantic thing. Next one was, have you ever wanted any NSFW tattoos or piercings? Tattoos, I really... Like, what, you mean like a tattoo on my asshole or something? Because no, I've never thought of that. The only other thing I can think of is like nipple tattoos or something. I don't know, I maybe plan on getting like, once I get my tits done, I plan on getting, I don't know, some kind of like, what's it called? Sternum tattoo. So if that's sexual to you, then I guess. Other than that, not really. And then for piercings, no, I've never wanted any genital piercings. I never wanted any titty piercings. I think that they look nice on other people, but I've never been personally interested in that. This one says, I haven't done anything most people my age have, and I'm fine with that, but should I be? I don't know how old you are, but regardless of that, it doesn't matter. No, you shouldn't be ashamed of that. It's a-okay to be fine with that. There is no specific guideline to when you should do X, Y, and Z in life. And if you're okay with that, then that's that. Like, nobody should make you feel bad about that. This is also another thing that I want to make a video on because I was a late bloomer. I did not do a lot of things that most teenagers did until I got to an older age. And I'm alright with that. Should I take it off? Should I leave it on? I'm gonna leave it on. So yeah, that's another video that I plan on making because I've realized that a lot of people were in my boat too. And I feel like it's really normalized now to, you know, have to have lost your virginity by the time you're 18, when in reality, I know a lot of people who didn't lose it till their early 20s, including myself. But we'll get into that another time. Next question was, other than money, was there a reason you chose not to go to college right after high school? Yes. Throughout like most of high school, I was dead set on being a photographer, specifically a music photographer. I feel like that was like a really big thing on Tumblr then, but it really was something that I was like genuinely interested in. Like I've always liked photography. I've always liked the process of editing photos and taking pictures and finding the right angles and the lighting and all that fun shit. But the reason why I didn't go to college for it is because I knew that a lot of people who go to art school, it's kind of pointless. Like obviously if you're going to art school, I'm not telling you to drop out. I'm just saying in my mind, I was like, it's pointless because I'm just gonna end up dropping out and everything that I can learn here, I'm gonna learn on my own anyways. So what's the point? When that didn't happen and my love for that kind of died out, I just just really had no idea what I wanted to go to college for, so I just never went. Next one is, does your family approve of all the piercings and tattoos? How did you convince them? Yes, they approve. I think when I was younger, like when I was 16 and could finally start getting piercings because that's the law in Wisconsin. I know my mom did not want me to get my septum pierced, but her thing has always been like, you know, it's my body, it's my decisions, it's my choice. She basically said as long as I'm not getting in trouble and being a delinquent, then she didn't care what I did with my body. As for my dad, he never really said anything. I kind of knew in the beginning he was kind of like, he never like openly voiced his dislike for it or his like for it, who knows? And over time, they just don't care. They know that like I'm my own person. I never had to convince them of anything. They kind of just realize like no matter what I look like or what I do to my body, I'm still their daughter and they're gonna approve of me regardless. Okay, well, we're getting into like some racy stuff now. How do you make yourself feel confident in the bedroom in regards to body insecurities? Then this one says sex advice for mega self-conscious hoes. I don't want anybody to see my body. So honestly, the biggest advice I can give you is to talk to your partner. Communicate with your partner. Let them know before you do anything, like, hey, like, this is what I'm not comfortable with. Could we please accommodate to make me feel comfortable and make this whole situation comfortable? That's the main thing, I would say. It's just having communication with your partner. For example, everybody that I've ever hooked up with, I tell them right away, I'm like, I don't ever take my shirt off because I'm not comfortable with my chest or my stomach area because I just, you know, body dysmorphia. I have insecurities about that. And I have a big ass foot phobia. I fucking hate feet. So I'm always just like, I'm keeping my socks on and so are you, or this is not happening. And then depending on if you continue to do things with that specific person or maybe you just become more experienced, honestly you start to realize that the people that you're doing these things with really don't care. Alright, next one was, how has being on YouTube affected you in ways you didn't expect, good or bad? Bad because I get stressed out very easily. I find when I don't get videos up on time or when I think that I should, or if something goes wrong while I'm doing a video or the audio is fucked up or whatever the hell. I just learned that it does stress me out. However, it also does help me because, I mean, earlier obviously it didn't help because I was having a fucking mental breakdown for no reason. But with my health issues, it does help to like take my mind off of it and it gives me something to do rather than just like sit around and mope all day. Like if I didn't have YouTube, I would be coming straight home and just going right into my bed and doing absolutely nothing. Since I do YouTube, I come straight home and I edit and I respond to comments. It gives me shit to do, so that's good. Like it helps my mental health and then it also drains my mental health. So it's a win-lose situation. But mostly win because I enjoy it. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. This one says, I know you wanted a boob job. Do you still want one and what size up would you want? So I always just say I want a boob job, but to be specific, I want a breast lift. I don't want a boob job. I don't want implants. I don't know. The thought of like putting something foreign into my body is like really weird to me. And then just the fact that like you have to get them replaced like every like 10 to 15 years. Like how do I know that I'm gonna have money for that down the line? And really the size of my boobs isn't an issue. Like I don't want like big boobs or anything. I actually like having this like a smaller chest or like a B cup like I am now. It's just the fact that I was heavier when I was younger and I've lost like 60 pounds. And some of that came out of my tits. So my tits went down a few sizes and they a bit deflated, I'll say. So I want a breast lift. I want my nip nops to go from like right here without a bra to like right here without a bra. Right now I'm wearing a bra and they're like, I want them to look like this, but I'm not wearing a bra. You feel me? So yeah, advice for having hetero sex for the first time. Discuss things with your partner beforehand. Like I said before, relax yourself and that's it. I mean, honestly, there really isn't anything much to it. I know for a lot of people or some people, whatever, I don't know how it is now, having sex for the first time is like a really big deal. I lost my virginity to some dude that I met on Tinder, so clearly I am not the pinnacle of romance when it comes to that. Just make sure it's with somebody that you're comfortable with. Make sure that you communicate with each other through it. If something doesn't feel good, if something hurts, it's alright. Slow down, take it easy, you know? Start with the one finger, work your way up. The one thing that I will say is that while it is true that sex really shouldn't hurt because, you know, if when you're aroused your body like loosens up, like your muscles loosen up and everything, so like everything should be smooth and easy. Not everybody's bodies are the same, and I know for me it was painful. For some people it's like no matter how turned on you are, you just don't loosen up, and I'm just saying if that happens to you, don't worry about it. I don't know, like really, like I was 100% ready, 100% turned on. I was like,
Hell yeah, let's do this, bro.
and even still, like I bled a little bit and it was tight and it kind of hurt. So everybody's different. Just take it slow. Talk to your partner. I don't know why it's taking me so long to answer this. What do you think about your body and what is your biggest insecurity? How do you boost yourself? I'm trying to just be very neutral about my body because I know that compared to where it has been at in my life, it is at a much better state. However, I do still like see myself as how I used to look. I'm not gonna say that like most days I'm like, ooh yes, I love my body, because no, like most days I still like fucking hate what I see when I look in the mirror. But that's, you know, that's just something you gotta work on. I don't know, my biggest insecurity is everything, because I low-key dislike everything about myself. But you know what we do in this house? We fake confidence. And also, not gonna lie, it is helpful having like a significant other who doesn't give a shit. That helps boost my confidence. I can complain about something and they're like, I don't give a fuck, like what are you talking about? And I'm like, you know what, bitch? You're fucking right. And that's also another thing that I do. Like sometimes I'll just look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you know what? It's not that big of a fucking deal. Like, shut up. Get over it. I kind of just like give myself some tough love. I think that works out. Worst sex you've ever had, and then weirdest / most awkward sexual experience. Worst sex I ever had, they had no rhythm. They didn't know what they were doing, basically. And no matter how many times I tried to explain them or walk them through it, it just wasn't working. And I was like, all right, thanks. And then weirdest / most awkward sexual experience, I'm gonna be honest with you, almost every single time. Because I'm one of those assholes who cannot take anything seriously, and I'm constantly making jokes. And I'm awkward in general, so there have been multiple times where I've accidentally like punched dude in the face or kneed him in the balls. Basically just like, you know, did things that should ruin the mood, but you just laugh it off. Like, it's a lot of that, at least with me. So maybe that's just like a me issue. 5 years ago, did you expect to be where you are today? See, 5 years ago, I was 18. Absolutely not. Wow, thanks. Way to fucking trigger me. Honestly, I did not think that I'd still be living in my parents' house. I did not think that I would have a bunch of medical bills. I did not think that I would be making YouTube videos. I did not think that I would, I mean, not to be depressing, but I don't think about the future often because in my mind, I'm always like, I'm gonna die somehow. So part of me didn't even think I would be here, but I am, and it's weird. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life, so, well, no, that's a lie. I kind of do. It's just, you know, mental health and bad health in general. Am I right, ladies? Okay, let's just move on before I have another episode. How was your first time having sex? I think I just discussed this, did I not? I went on Tinder. I matched with a dude who wasn't that annoying at the time. I told him straight up, hey, I'm here to lose my V card. And he was like, oh wow, that's cool. Like, you're so open about that. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And then like, we met, and then it was like 2 months later, and I was like, I think we're ready, right? Yeah, huh? I feel like I was more ready than he was. It wasn't his first time, but like, I had to buy the condoms. I had to be the one to go over there and like initiate everything, which isn't on him. I mean, maybe he was just awkward, I don't know. But my first time having sex was pretty much like, fucking finally, let's get this done and over with, you know? It wasn't anything extravagant or romantic. I had sex with the movie Tusk playing in the background, which I know a lot of people, when they hear that, are very entertained by that for some reason. To be honest, I don't remember because I was too busy getting plowed. So, maybe I should probably watch that movie and figure out what the fuck was going on in the background. What is the worst heartbreak you've ever gone through? None, because I pride myself on the fact that it took me 22 years to get into a relationship. And that's mostly because everybody fucking annoys me. And to be honest, I'm a lot, so it takes a person who can handle me to want to actually be with me, and I'm honestly surprised he still fucking does. Shout out to you, my dude, right? So yeah, I've never gone through a heartbreak. I've gone through like minor inconveniences, but never a heartbreak. And maybe I thought it was like a heartbreak at the time, but it was mostly just kind of like a, I would say it was more like a pity party rather than a heartbreak, you know? And then going through that, do you ever think we fully move on from our first love, or have you ever experienced first love? I can't answer the first one, because to answer the second one, no, I've not. And that's as simple as that, so let us move on. Would you ever consider doing nudes? Absolutely not, my guy, but thank you for the inquiry. The only person I send nudes to are the people I'm hooking up with or my best friends, because we all deserve to see a little booty sometimes, right? Next one is, have you ever been in an open / polyamorous relationship? If so, how was it? If not, would you try it? No, and honestly, no. I think I'd be more open to like one-off threesomes rather than like a polyamorous type thing, because I don't know. I feel like I'd be like really insecure and jealous, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like possessive, but that's just personally not something that I think that I could handle. So like threesomes, possibly. An actual three-way relationship? No. Aside from YouTube, what are your ultimate career goals? I have some, but I don't. And the thing is that when it comes to like my personal goals and everything, while I do like, you know, being open and sharing things with you guys, there are certain things that I like to keep like to the close people around me, just because I know that if I put things out there, I'm gonna be held accountable for them, and I don't want to be held accountable for them. In a long story short slash beating around the bush answer, something to do with animals. What exactly that is, I kind of know, but you will not know unless I actually go through with it. So we'll see when and if that ever happens. And if it does, I will let you guys know. Next one is, have you tried a menstrual cup yet? No, I have not, because like I said before, foreign objects inside of me just really weird me out. Even like an IUD birth control, that weirds me out, because I'm just like, why would I? The thought of something going in there and just like staying there and like, I don't like it. It just makes me like really uncomfortable. So no, I haven't done that yet. It's not even because of like the blood or like being grossed out by it or anything. It's literally just the fact of like something like suctioning itself inside of me. Can you tell I'm uncomfortable? Because I am uncomfortable. Okay, then we have, do you have a type, male slash female, and any requirements for someone to date you? I feel like I have like a physical type and then like a personality type, and I tend to go more towards guys for their personality rather than their looks. That's not to say that like anybody I've ever been with is ugly or that I don't find them attractive. Honestly, if you're good looking but you're so fucking boring, I don't want to mess with you, and I don't care how good you look. But if you're like funny and like authentic and you kind of are like me and you act like you just don't give a fuck and you're just whatever, man, about a lot of things, and that's like what I'm attracted to. With girls, pretty much the same thing, although, okay, I know that this is gonna sound bad because I am the way I am, where like I said, I have like very like masculine and feminine traits. However, with girls, I like really feminine girls because I like to be the masculine one in the relationship. If I were to get in a relationship with them, or if I were to like hook up with them, like I want to be the dom, you know? But that being said, whatever would happen is what's gonna happen, and I don't have any issues with that. Like I said, it's more of like personality. And then, okay, moving on. Any requirements to date me? Yeah, really simple. Just don't be an asshole. Don't be boring. You have to accept the fact that I am disgusting and open, and I will burp and talk about stupid shit with you. And you also have to, I guess, acknowledge the fact that I have health issues that may debilitate me, and you need to be okay with that. I think that's pretty simple. I don't think that's, you know, anything that's too hard to ask for. Now, that being said, I think that we're finally done with this video. I will say, I got a lot of questions that were like shit that 12-year-olds would ask, but I went to y'all's profile page and y'all were like 20-something or even like 40-something. I'm not gonna tell you what my favorite sex position is, and I'm not gonna tell you if I would ever do anal or if I have done anal. I said personal questions, not fuckboy questions. So that being said, I think that we're done with this video. If I didn't answer your question, it's because I'm either going to answer it in a different video, I thought it was stupid, or I was avoiding it. So, if you, for any reason at all, enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Why? Because I'm eating Cool Ranch Doritos and my butthole itches. So that is it for today, and I will see you guys in my next video.